Meditations. I come across a lot of people who have got preconceived ideas about what meditation is. Meditations are basically a way of focusing your mind, quietening your mind, in simplistic terms, a way of quietening and, stilling, grounding, earthing, becoming very aware about yourself, about your brain, allowing your brain space to just calm down. One of the things I find, and have found actually over the decades, is meditation for me personally helps a lot to cope with stresses throughout life, and also just helps with focusing on something. If you feel a bit overwhelmed and you're feeling a bit distraught, and you feel like everything's just coming at you left, right and center, you've got family, you've got work, you maybe have money issues, you've got family issues, you've got ex issues, you've got whatever it is, stress of any sort can make it feel like you can't cope. Okay, in very, very simplistic terms, meditation on a regular basis can help you through it. And I have found working with people in doing meditations is, first of all, breaking down this barrier. There's sort of a filter going on with a lot of people, and they have this preconceived idea, from Hollywood or whatever, wherever it is they get it from, about what a meditation is. That you've got to sit cross-legged on the floor and have this bizarre posture that, and after a while they find that they can't do it when they try, because, their body is not used to it. Their back aches, their knees ache, their hip aches. They find that they can't concentrate. They're finding that, while they are sitting down and trying to, do a meditation, as it were, they're finding that they've got all sorts of thoughts in, they got to worry about shopping, they got to pay that bill, they got to sort out that for the, son or daughter or whatever, or they've got to remind themselves to do X, Y, and Z. And so they become distracted. People very often become frustrated, and then they give up because they just think, this is impossible, I can't do it. You can do it. Everyone can do meditation if you give yourself space. And again, the way I like to work with people is to start off breaking down those barriers first, those filters, those preconceived ideas about what meditation is. And the same goes with a lot of therapies, as it were, is making it simple, because it is simple. It is just really, really simple. And the way I like to work with people is to first of all, using my NLP techniques, is to find out what allows somebody to focus. What do you focus on? Is it something that you see? Is it something that you hear? Is it something that you smell? Is it something that you feel? Those things are important because everybody is different. With myself, it tends to be visionary and it tends to be auditory. So things like singing bells, tincture, and such like work very, very well for me, or a low audible kind of sound that you can actually focus on. And this is why we use these sort of techniques while trying to meditate, because it helps us to focus and absorb the vibrations of the sound. It helps us to, and if we're a visual person, we might focus on, this is just the back of a tarot card, but we might focus on an image. It can be any image, any image that is pleasing in the beginning, any image that you find pleasing, or an object even that you can focus on. As simple as a candle, it can be a crystal, it can be a small statue, or it doesn't really matter what it is, as long as we explore what it is that helps you to focus. And that's the important thing. And the other misconception that I like to break down for people is the length of time. the length of time. People have a preconceived idea that you've got to sit down for 15 minutes, that you start off, and you've got to work your way up to about an hour. And again, that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to do that at all. If somebody books an hour session with myself, or is in a group, for instance, I very often go through a very simple process of breaking down those misconceptions, those preconceived ideas, so that then people feel comfortable. Yes, I can achieve this. I can do this. I want to do this. And then people will very often do it. And then it's done in very, very small steps. You could do it for 30 seconds. And then if you find that you're starting, and there are techniques that I use to actually help people to come back to focusing, because thoughts are going on in our brain all the time. And that's the most distracting thing when you're trying to meditate. You're trying to relax, you're trying to center, you're trying to listen to your breathing or feel the energies running through your body. You're trying to listen maybe to a singing bell or some very low audible sounds going on, whether it be a stream or some wind through, some chimes, seashore, whatever it is. And then I help build that technique to go longer and longer and longer. And that's the key thing. And then it gets to a point where you maybe don't even need those things. You don't need them in order to meditate. You can just go to a quiet room, your bedroom, the bathroom, wherever it might be. You might be having a bath, and you can meditate for just a couple of minutes, and you will have the same effects. Whatever the effect is that you want to achieve, you can have that within just a few minutes, rather than sitting down in a formal, sitting position and trying to do a 15-minute or a half-hour meditation. So anyway, that's how I like to work. That's how I like to work with you. And I hope that you found that useful. And if that appeals to you, then please do get in contact. I look forward to participating in some meditations. And if I have anything that I can pass on, experience and such like, that can help you to meditate for yourself, then do please drop us a line. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you again soon.